Good morning, everyone. We're just at Resorts World Birmingham at the Cineworld, and we're about to go and watch Cars 3. Hello, and welcome to my very first movie review. Now, when I do movie reviews on my channel, I want to keep them as clean and simple as possible. I'm not going to be here to give you in-depth synopsis of every character, why the plot did this and that. I just want it to be fun and informative. I just also quickly, while I have the opportunity to say, if you're one of these people that watches every trailer, teaser trailer, the teaser of the teaser trailer, stop it, please. Go in and see a movie blind and you will enjoy it so much more. These days people watch all the trailers, read all the info. You may as well honestly not go and watch the film. But anyway, without me rambling, let's get back to the Cars 3 movie review. And to me the most important question is, as this is a Disney Pixar production, is it good for the adults and is it good for the children? Well, first off, the movie is 1 hour and 49 minutes long, and to be honest, holding kids' attention for that long is very difficult. This time Pixar have got it slightly wrong in my opinion, and the movie sways more towards the adults than it does the children. When I went to the cinema and watched this on Sunday, I watched children getting fidgety and restless simply because they couldn't empathise with Lightning McQueen and the problems he was having within the film. This one is good for the adults. It's going to lose the children in the middle bit. Even my oldest daughter, who comes to see the film with me, when I asked her, did you understand what the film was about, she pretty much just went, nah. I've got to say, this is well put together, but it is not a Pixar masterpiece. Out of the 3 Cars films, this probably slots into about number 2 place, with the first being the best. Obviously, everyone's opinions differ and this is subjective, but honestly, this isn't what I would call a classic. So in the second part of the review, I'm going to talk about the film starting and film ending, because these are also highly important to the viewer. At the start of the film, Disney Pixar have thrown in a small short, and this short is called Lou, and it's linked into Lost and Found. And what I always smile and makes me chuckle when they do this, the kids that you go with turn around to you and say, is this meant to be the film? Because it doesn't seem like the film we come to see. I always think they throw these in. They are fantastic, and it's great for perhaps new people within the company to throw out their work, but it confuses the hell out of the kids. There should be, I don't know, something that comes on and says, this is not the film. But anyway, Lou, short for Lost and Found, is a quick short story about inanimate objects that come to life after they've been stored in a lost and found box. The end of the film, and when I talk about the end of the film, is there anything after the end credits? And yes, there is. And I was probably the only person in the cinema to stop behind and watch. Now, some people may feel awkward about doing this because the ladies were waiting to clean the cinema and seemed pretty annoyed that I was still hanging back. But at the end of the day, people, you've paid your money. It's your right to stay. And for the end of the film, the short that was there, was it worth stopping for? No. It's funny, but it's completely worthless and doesn't tie into another film. And talking of another film, I honestly thought Cars 3 was winding down for the end of the franchise. And then at the British Grand Prix, we had Owen Wilson and Lewis Hamilton chatting to each other, and Lewis teased that he wants to appear in Cars 4. So will there be a Cars 4? We'll have to watch this space. And now on to the main part. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what Cars 3 is about. Now, this may contain spoilers, so if you don't want to know what the film's about, stop watching my review at this point, go and watch the film, and then please do come back and watch the rest, see if you think I got it right or not. Okay, so Cars 3, it's really an emotional journey. And this journey is something of an adult journey. It's an adult theme and something that children, as I said earlier, can't empathise and, be honest, I think can't understand. So we see our hero Lightning McQueen taking part in the Piston Cup, and after winning the first round of the race, or whatever part of the race he was in, he comes to the next segment and next race. And that's where we see who you would think would be his rival and nemesis in the film, Jackson Storm. Jackson Storm is a far superior, faster, more attuned racing car, and he creeps up out of nowhere to beat Lightning McQueen clean over the line. Jackson Storm references to Lightning that he's a has-been and this is the new generation, and he needs to step up and step out. And this is where we go on a journey with Lightning McQueen. Lightning McQueen sees it that he's not past it, he's still got more to give. And so he goes on a journey to try and train to be a better racer. But it seems that whatever Lightning tries to give, he's just not ready for the new rookies and the better competition. With all the new rookies coming in and all these race cars being better than a lot of the field, a lot of the old-time racers start to drop out, almost leaving Lightning McQueen to be the only old-school racer. Lightning McQueen has always raced for Rusties, and the owners of the team feel that they can no longer provide Lightning with the training or the experience he needs to beat Jackson Storm. So, thinking they're doing a good deed for Lightning, they sell the team off. The team owner is a long life fan and entrepreneur, and his initial point of taking Lightning McQueen on is to be a bit of a mascot, you could say, and sell all the Rusties equipment and oil and mud flaps. But Lightning doesn't know about this. And when Lightning chats with the team owner gives him the ultimatum that if he wins the next race, he will let him continue racing and go on. Now, Lightning, wanting to move into the modern world, into the digital world, he teams up with Cruz Ramirez, who's his trainer. Lightning McQueen, all of a sudden, he used to practice on dirt roads. He's looking at simulators, exercises, training regimes, and Lightning quickly understanding that this is just not for him. It's not how he trained, and Lightning quickly falls out of this new training regime and thinks that he has to go back to what he did before. His trainer, Cruz Ramirez, gets upset about this and feels that she can still help Lightning achieve his goals. So Cruz and Lightning go back to an old school beach where he used to race with Hudson Hornet. So with Lightning and Cruz Ramirez on the beach, they go back to old school training. And it's quickly shown to Lightning that Cruz has never trained on a real world situation before. She's always been in a simulator or a digital environment or inside the building that looks like the McLaren building. And so we have a bit of a crossover, a bit of that Lightning McQueen becomes trainer and Cruz sort of sees the potential that she never thought she had. And after all the training, we see that Lightning is still not as fast as Jackson Storm, and he's not basically going to have any chance of winning. So Lightning goes on a spiritual journey looking back for someone called Smokey, who we believe used to train with Hudson Hornets. He goes on this journey looking for him, and just before they go, Cruz and Lightning have a bust up and a fallout, and Lightning tells her to go back and not get involved. He'll try and train himself. And sort of going back down memory lane, we're pushed into the whole reason and storyline of the film that Lightning was a champion, but he's no longer going to be a champion. I suppose there comes a point in everyone's sporting career when you've been champion and top of the line that new people come along and you just can't beat them. And it's the start of the transition. And to be honest, without even me explaining anymore, you're pretty much watching the film, guess what's coming. You're not sure whether it's going to happen or not, but it does move that way. After Lightning goes back to the old town with Cruz Ramirez, they talk up some old things, they go up on an old track, they try and train the old ways, but Lightning is still not fast enough. So they realise he's got to use his experience, he's got to be wise when he races rather than trying to be the fastest. We come back to the Piston Cup again, and this is down to whether Lightning wins or loses to become a mascot. And during the race, Lightning's doing quite well, but he tries to give so hard and realises that he can't do it. And when he comes in for a pit stop, he asks Cruz Ramirez to switch with him. Now, Cruz is like a girl character in the film. She's the person who's been trying to train Lightning McQueen, and in the film it's quite often referenced that she's always wanted to be a racing driver, but people have always told her that she wasn't good enough or she didn't have the potential, and that's why she was a trainer. And that's where we see the very emotional moment where Lightning switches from wanting to be the top boy number one racer to suddenly realising his time's up, and that actually he can mirror what Hudson Hornet did, and he can train this potential racer. And so he talks Cruz Ramirez into taking into the race, and as they're both working for the same team, apparently it's allowed to do this. So Cruz Ramirez joins the race, and a lot of her inhibitions and worries come forth to the forefront, but Lightning talks her round, and she takes the win and takes the race win. Cruz Ramirez comes into the limelight as our new character champion, and Lightning, just as we think he's about to go off and have to sell mud flaps, works out that because he also took part in the race, he's a champion as well. This is where we see that Lightning has basically moved on as the main character, and Cruz Ramirez we think would be the new character. So in my opinion, this was Cars 3 signing off, the end of the franchise. But then it struck me, no, I don't think that's what's going to happen. As we had in Finding Nemo, we switched over to Finding Dory. And I honestly think there could be a Cars 4 on the horizon with Cruz Ramirez as the main character.